We are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. Pridelines was visited by Health and Human Services Cabinet Secretary Xavier Becerra. Queer News Tonight's Al Ferguson gets to ask him all the issues important to the LGBTQ+ community.
The Colorado GOP's email called LGBTQ+ individuals godless groomers and urged people to burn pride flags and spread anti-LGBTQ+ rhetoric.
Pride flags get vandalized in Washington, but the LGBTQ+ community stitches them back with pink yarn.
Despite failed legislation, Florida cities proudly hoist pride flags symbolizing inclusion and unity during Pride Month celebrations statewide.
President Biden celebrates LGBTQ+ achievements, condemns discrimination, and urges unity in the Pride Month proclamation.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ+ daily evening television news broadcasting live and then available on demand. Available on all smart televisions, including Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. It's time to queer up the news for Wednesday, June 5th, 2024. We are live and literally out of the closet and into your headlines. So many of your important stories we're going to tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first live daily LGBTQ evening news show, literally out of the closet and into the headlines on Queer News Tonight.
This is the world's first and only unedited live LGBTQ+ evening news show. Whatever happens unique in LGBTQ+ news, you will see it and hear it.
Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same model of PBS and NPR, but designed for the LGBTQ+ community. Our mission is to support the 11 pillars of our LGBTQ+ community. We want to inform and educate the key issues of our queer culture: the Black community, Latino, lesbians and queer women, trans, students, youth, seniors, HIV/AIDS, healthcare, business, social justice, and faith. Help us support our community.
We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ+ nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Magazine and Happening Out Television Network.
In 2024, our magazine is celebrating 40 years of the LGBTQ+ experience, and our television, news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ+ and broader community.
That's right, Vaughn. And we're going to have an incredible show today because we've got incredible people at the table, some of my favorite, actually. Woo! So let's meet tonight's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome my sister, Bonnie Builder. She's the premier South Florida bodybuilding drag queen and the current reigning Mixed Marys. A recent graduate of FIU, Bonnie Builder is a trainer and comes to life with a microphone and a spotlight. Bonnie, you host trivia at the Gathering on Wednesdays at 8 p.m., right? How's that going? Tell me what's happening.
It's really popular because I'm there. So if you are smart or even if you're dumb as hell, I encourage you to come out to South Beach to the Gathering. Every Wednesday at 8 p.m. we have trivia. You can win prizes, which include beverages, tabs off your beverages, or some extra steamy stuff because, you know, we get sexy down at South Beach. So come on out to the Gathering on Wednesdays at 8 p.m. for some drag trivia.
Yes. Bonnie, you must be making your chiropractor freaking millions.
With these heavy things, girl, yes.
I freaking love you, Bonnie. Next up, let's welcome anchor Dr. Tai Houser. He's a professor of English and Humanities at Broward College and teaches in the College of Business at Florida Atlantic University. He has served as a visiting professor at colleges in Bolivia, Brazil, China, India, and Spain, and provides an international viewpoint. Tai, so the City of Fort Lauderdale Parks and Recreation Department has brought the Bank of America Starlight Musicals concert, which will run through August 9th. Tell me what's happening.
So this is has been going on for 45 years. Every summer you go to Holiday Park to the football field, take your little charcuterie box, your cooler, your
wine,
well, whatever you're taking, yeah. And you go and you sit, enjoy a free concert. They have all kinds of music, the different kind of themes each week. So check it out on the website to see where your favorite ones are.
I love that. Thank you, Tai. Next up, let's welcome TriniDaddy. This artistic talent is a violinist and a pianist with the Miami City Ballet and is a program director for the Seminole Theater's Players in Homestead. Welcome back, Trini. How you doing, puppy?
I am doing great. Happy Pride Month to everybody. I got my little rainbow shirt on. I got to kick off the first weekend in Disney's One Magical Weekend, which a lot of our It's Happening Out folks were there, including Faye, who I texted when I first got there, and she never responded, and I never saw her the entire weekend.
Well, she wanted to have a good time,
now.
so that's why.
So what's good, Faye?
I'm so sorry I didn't text you back, Trini. I'm really not that sorry. I'm really busy. I was having a great time.
The entire weekend.
Girls in Wonderland, One Magical Weekend, and Gay Days.
Right.
All on the same weekend in the same city.
How can you go wrong?
Best friend.
That part. All right. I love you, Trini. Welcome back, honey.
Thank you.
Next up, meet Von Biggs. I love him. Look at this big bear brother of mine right there. Broward County HIV Health Services Planning Council's vice chair and disruptive advocate, challenging outdated perceptions and fighting for HIV/AIDS rights. As Holy Cross's Health's community outreach coordinator, Von smashes stigma through innovative campaigns and social media. Welcome back, Von. What's going on in your world, baby?
Well, I'd be remiss if I did not mention today, which is June 5th, and it's HIV Long-Term Survivors Awareness Day. So, as we know, many people have lived very long lives with HIV, and we are here to stand on their shoulders, celebrate them, let them know they are no longer surviving, but they're thriving.
Yes, I love that.
Absolutely.
And of course, this is tonight's lead anchor, FayWhat. She is legendary events host, television and radio personality, and the host of the FayWhat show on Mondays at Hotspots Happening Now. What's going on?
Well, so for me, today I'm going to be at the pub, right? Because we're going to have the Scream Off. If you've ever seen that movie, A Streetcar Named Desire, where Marlon Brando goes, Stella! And then rubs his face, which I won't because this makeup costs a lot of money, right? And then screams it again, right? That's what they're going to do today at the pub at 9 p.m. It's the Scream Off with me, Don Darminio, and Chris Caputo as the judges. So come on through, scream your face off. You might win some tickets. We are the reporters for Queer News Tonight, and this evening we begin with the queer headlines. The LGBTQ plus community in South Florida and across America is diverse. Our community across the world is vast. And here are the bullet points of the queer news for today, Wednesday, June 5th, 2024. First this evening, let's begin by queering up breaking news. HHS Secretary Becerra comes to Pridelines to celebrate LGBTQ plus pride and talk to Queer News Tonight. 2024 continues to be an amazing year for Pridelines. This year they reopened their vitally important LGBTQ plus community center in Miami and Liberty City. They expanded their youth and health services at the center and new basic community necessities like a place where those in need can wash clothes or simply just get a shower. Yesterday, in honor of June Pride Month, Health and Human Services Cabinet Secretary Xavier Becerra visited Pridelines Community Center. His visit was drawing attention to the vital role community organizations play in supporting health, mental health, and other LGBTQ plus needs. His first hour visit included talking to staff and supporters and a press conference. A highlight was his participation in a private 12-step meeting that was occurring. Becerra said, quote, Pridelines represent the best of this community, and we want you to know that the Biden administration is here to support you, end quote. Queer News Tonight anchor Al Ferguson asked Secretary Becerra several questions. Top of the list was HHS and President Biden implementing anti-discrimination health measures through executive order, and that many states have advised their healthcare and educational institutions to ignore those federal rules to provide access to LGBTQ plus healthcare. Becerra was firm that the states must follow the federal guidelines. Ferguson also discussed the more than 500 anti-LGBTQ laws introduced in the last year, largely targeting the trans community. He asked about Becerra's reaction to those actions and while having the first ever trans assistant secretary of HHS with Dr. Admiral Rachel Levine. Becerra talked about the importance of representation in government and how honored the Biden administration was to have Levine.
Rachel Levine has, let's put it this way, Admiral Rachel Levine, Dr. Rachel Levine, is an accomplished American in her own right. Everything she has done has been under that Hippocratic oath as a physician, but also in helping preserve life and let others thrive. And so to have her as our Assistant Secretary for Health at the Department of Health and Human Services has been a real honor for us. She is the first trans Assistant Secretary of Health, but she's, again, as I said, accomplished in her own right, and we are fortunate to have such a professional working at the highest levels of the Department of Health and Human Services. And here I have to say, hats off to President Joe Biden for once again making sure that his administration reflects America.
You know, Pridelines has had such an incredible year. You know, their new ED, Edward Summers, he's part of this table very often. He's only been there about 8 months, folks, and he's done so much in those 8 months, you know, and he lives, breathes, and poops this, okay? Honestly. You know, he was so excited a couple months back because they were installing a shower at Pridelines, right? Something that we take for granted, right? Something that's so accessible to us, right? But there's a lot of people who are home insufficient, and they, you know, need places like Pridelines that offer a safe space. And then just having the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services at Pridelines shows us as a community that we're seen, right? I mean, that's how you show us that the Biden and Harris administration are here for us, that they see us, that they see the plight, they see the crap that we're going through and that we're fighting through, and that they see us. So I thought this was a wonderful thing for Mr. Becerra to go to Pridelines yesterday.
So, right. So it's not just that he was there, but he was also talking about how representation matters. And so it's not just, hey, we have a trans person who is serving as second in command. Yeah. But I'm also here as well, you know, to kind of show you, I mean, not that he's gay, but to show you that the administration is interested and involved and not just going to say, oh, the gays love me.
Low key, him bringing up the trans woman was like when a white person's like, "See, I got a black friend, so like I'm down with it." I'm
that
happy.
Was Al who asked it. That was not first. That was not Becerra. I know Al well enough to know. Me. I gotta ask this question. You know, so he's gonna get himself in.
I'm glad I didn't catch her name, but I'm happy that she got a moment of recognition. I'm happy that she's a part of the organization. I'm happy that she's acknowledged. But look, I just couldn't hold that back. It was like we have trans women over here, right? We got everything. Look at us. Right. We're with the times.
You know, one of the things that came out in the talk, and I know that Al had mentioned it, was about executive order. And while I think those are important, we have to recognize executive orders only last while the president's in office.
That's right.
Yeah.
Vote, people.
Vote. Register to vote. And if you're usually voting from home, check that out as well, because they're also not allowing a lot of the voting online anymore, right? The voter, what do you call that? Absentee.
Absentee ballot.
Tai, what's next, my friend?
Next, let's queer up social justice. Colorado GOP sparks outrage with anti-LGBTQ plus rhetoric and a call to burn pride flags. The Colorado Republican Party recently sparked outrage by labeling LGBTQ plus individuals as godless groomers with intent on harming children in an email to its members. The party encouraged members to burn pride flags in June and called queer people satanic and demonic on social media. The email said, quote, "The month of June has arrived, and once again, the godless groomers in our society want to attack what is decent, holy, and righteous so they can ultimately harm our children," end quote. The email further describes gender-affirming care as irreversible and barbaric, contradicting the medical consensus that such care is reversible and rarely involves procedures on minors. It also shared a link to a video titled "God Hates Flags," a sermon by Pastor Mark Driscoll, echoing the anti-LGBTQ plus slogan of the Westboro Baptist Church. Throughout Pride Month, the Colorado GOP's social media posting called Pride Month an abomination and urged parents to shield their child from queer individuals. The party also shared a post from Chaya Rakshik, founder of Libs of TikTok, in May. The Colorado GOP urged its members to remove their children from public schools, claiming educators would otherwise turn them transgender. Well, it's amazing to see how absolutely insane some of this stuff is. But something that I found interesting is the head of the Log Cabin Republicans for Colorado is running for a congressional seat there right now, and he actually turned down the endorsement of the Colorado GOP over this letter. He said he went to talk to the guy last year because they sent out a similar letter and it got them nowhere. He sent out the same letter this year. He said, "You know what? I'm running as a Republican. I don't want your endorsement."
Wow.
Ooh.
Wow.
Sure.
You know, and people, you know, I mean, this is rhetoric and this is ridiculous, right? I mean, again, most gay people don't even like kids, okay? That's what's funny about the fact that they constantly are calling us pedos and groomers and all this kind of crap.
I love children. I just can't eat a whole one.
Oh, my God.
Well, for me being a queer man and being from the Baptist community, you know, I look at it and go, we need to keep religion and government separate from each other. They really do. They don't really go hand in hand with each other very easily. And, you know, I just think about, you know, Luke in the Bible says, you know, who you're going to judge, you know, unless you're going to be judged.
Yeah.
So they need to keep their judgment set aside.
You know, and I also hate that these people feel that like we're not God-fearing people, that we don't go to church. I go to church every Sunday. I lead two services at Unity on the Bay every freaking Sunday. Okay, yeah, I may have a potty mouth, but I'm a good person.
We're at church right now.
You know, we're at church right now. We're literally on a church campus. Like, when did that happen? That because right wing, they own God and they own religion. There's plenty of people in LGBTQ plus that are religious folk.
Yeah.
When the Republican Party decided to abandon actual Republican principles and decided to make it into this, what do you call it, the Tea Party, and that's what is taken over now. So I think that, have you all been to Colorado?
Yes, unfortunately.
Okay.
Not
Colorado.
an attractive person there.
Okay.
Latino shade. Latino shade. I'm sorry.
Different direction.
Is that true?
No.
Oh, okay.
So Colorado is like full of like
Right, I was there.
the nicest people. Like it's like if you leave a freaking plastic water bottle somewhere, like
they'll bring it to you.
yeah. Like, you know, they're like, we probably should recycle. Like, you know, or like it's like everything there is just so granola and people are so down to earth. So it's kind of shocking to me that the GOP in Colorado, like I would expect the GOP in Kansas to put something out like this, but in Colorado, it's crazy. So what we need to do is put them on blast. And if anybody is watching from Colorado, look at these people, get on their social media, post that email, and make sure that the people who wrote it, the people who were circulating it, that all of their names get out there and, you know, dox those motherfuckers. All right? Expose them for who they are, because Colorado, I know that you're not like that. It's these people that are making such a huge difference in your state that doesn't represent who you are, and it doesn't represent America.
You're telling those people to scream louder.
Yes.
Right? I mean, Trini believes in you, Colorado. I never expected that.
Scream at them like it's single-use plastic.
Listen, to all you people out there, God does not hate fags or flags. No. Just to let you know, you are perfect. You were born perfect. You are loved, and that's all that you need to know.
That is correct.
Bonnie?
Next, let's queer up the USA View. Washington queer community comes together to stitch the vandalized pride flag. Police in Poulsbo, Washington, have launched an investigation after pride banners along Front Street were vandalized. At around 3:45 a.m. in the start of June Pride Month, an individual was caught on camera with a sharp object near the banners installed in the town of 12,000 across Puget Sound from Seattle. By morning, most of the 14 flags were slashed. Thanks to a community member's kindness, the flags were stitched back together with pink yarn, allowing them to fly despite the damage. Poulsbo Pride, which is only in its second year, is responsible for the banners. Poulsbo police posted on Facebook that the suspect appeared tall, wearing a green jacket, baseball cap, full face covering, black gloves, and wielding a long white pole with a cutting instrument. Due to the damage caused, the vandalism might be upgraded to a felony. In a statement, Poulsbo Pride expressed deep sadness over the vandalism of Pride banners, which occurred just one day after a community gathering to celebrate the flying of Pride flags over City Hall. To recover from the damage, a GoFundMe account has been created to support Poulsbo Pride's inclusive initiatives and has surpassed its $5,000 goal. The funds will support Poulsbo Pride and the Park Festival.
Front Street, Poulsbo. Police say this person came prepared to do damage, and damage they did.
Poulsbo supports the Pride community, and we take it personally, and we're doing everything we can to try and figure this out.
By Saturday morning, residents woke up to find that most of the 14 Pride banners placed by the city to celebrate Pride Month were slashed. For Pam Keeley, a longtime gay rights activist, the vandalism reminds her of a time not so long ago.
It takes me right back there, just zooms right back. Yep.
Where it felt as if it was not okay to be gay.
It hurts, but thanks to the progress and the solidarity that we've developed over these decades, there's not that sense of isolation.
The signs did not remain torn for long. A community member mended the cuts, with the damage enhanced, not hidden.
I see them now as a sign of healing. They represent unfortunately, the violence against the LGBTQ community, but they also represent the healing that can come out of this sort of harassment.
The pink yarn now directs your attention to the damage. What could have been a defect is now a symbol of strength. Poulsbo Pride, the organization, is only in its second year. They say this event has brought out supporters like never before.
The vast majority have been, the outpouring of love has been really beautiful.
And when Pride Month is over, at the end of June, these signs won't be thrown away. Instead, they'll be preserved.
That is incredible. I want to say to the people of Poulsbo, this is a moment to recognize that you queers are in the majority. This was one hateful fucker with a sharp object who was probably alone, lonely, depressed, other issues, and decided to attack our community. And you can tell it was unsuccessful because we banded together, we found beauty in the moment, and we came back stronger than ever. Now, I will recommend adding some rhinestones. Pink yarn is cute, but we need to be a little bit more obnoxious up in their face about it.
Right.
But this ended up being a beautiful moment of solidarity, especially for all the queers in that community that feel like they're not seen or they're alone. No, a community banded together to make you feel like even if you're attacked, we will come here and protect you and build you back up.
Yes, you know what I thought something similar to that, Bonnie. I was like, if that would have happened here, it would have been bedazzled with some hot glue, a lot of stones, and that would have been it, right? It would have been amazing. But, Poulsbo, Washington, I mean, they're near Seattle. Are there pretty people there?
Yes.
I don't know.
Okay, he doesn't know. I don't know Ben Granola too. But I mean, folks out there have the best Pride ever, okay? In your second year, and you're already in the news. Look at you, all right?
Hey.
This is going to put you together. This will never happen again because now you guys are alerted. You know what's going on. Get better CCTV cameras, though, because I couldn't notice who that guy was. You know what I mean?
And copyright that what they did to the flags and trademark it. So they're
Loki, keep that every year.
Don't
Every year.
The flags look amazing that way. Like it shows it shows strength. It shows that we could be broken, but we're still together. I mean, it shows so much.
Right.
Yeah.
I want to go break some flags now and throw them up because they look so good.
You need to have like a pink yard charity mixer every year because of this moment.
Yeah.
And that's an artist response, which is a big part of the gay community. It's like, how do we take something that's terrible and like turn it into something beautiful?
Yeah.
So now every kid, because you know how kids ask a million questions.
Yes,
you know, every kid that walks past this or is in a car driving past it, like, Mommy, why does that have pink yarn on there? It's because there are hateful people in this community. And like,
Don't become a hateful person.
Right, Jessica.
And we triumph over that, and that's not how we raised you, and you better not be saying anything about gay people. So
Right.
I love that.
think it's
Use
so
that
wonderful.
as a tool to educate.
Yeah,
right?
that's what it did. So, in a way, thank you to this vandalizer. Like, you have just created solidarity in our community.
So I don't want to bring the level down here
But
because
you
I
are.
like that we're seeing this as something positive. It really is. But I want to just remind us that already this year in Carlisle, Massachusetts, 200 flags were stolen from the Pride folks. In South Dakota, a queer-friendly church was vandalized, and the FBI and State Department have issued warnings of terrorism during Pride events. So,
Wow, what a Debbie Downer.
I know, I don't want to, because it is, but it's happening across the country.
No, but Ty's right. We have to be aware of that also. It's also high time. It's also being on alert because of all the people that don't want us living and breathing, This gentleman, maybe it was a fluke, or maybe he downright hates us and wishes that we were all dead. There's no way to know.
Right.
But it served a wonderful purpose. It brought all these people together.
And all of our events, especially one magical weekend that happened, like I know that Faye completely ignored me at, like the security measures for all of our gay events has been pretty tight,
Elevated it, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you to all the security people that are like watching and the political people that are there, like, keeping us safe. Next, let's queer up social justice. Florida cities defy DeSantis' flag ban efforts and raise pride flags to kickstart June Pride Month. After Florida Republicans' failed attempt to ban pride flags from government buildings earlier this year, several cities across the state hoisted the rainbow stripes to mark the start of Pride Month. Last year, Florida State Representative David Barrero introduced HB 901 to prohibit flags representing political viewpoints, including those related to sexual orientation and gender. The bill, which would have affected schools, government buildings, and universities, fortunately did not pass. As a result, local governments continued flying pride flags. Last week, St. Petersburg kicked off Pride Month by raising the Progress Pride flag at City Hall. The ceremony included U.S. Representative Kathy Castor, state representatives like Lindsey Cross, Michelle Rayner, Mayor Ken Welch, and the City Council. On Saturday, nearly 100 people gathered at the Gulfport Public Library in Pinellas County to witness the Progress Pride flag being raised. The event was attended by Vice Mayor Ian O'Hara, City Council members, Pinellas County Commissioner Charlie Justice, School Board member Caprice Edmond, Gecko Queen Robert Donch, and congressional candidates Whitney Fox and John Liccioni. The same day, Miami, raised the Progress Pride flag over City Hall, with Tampa and Orlando following suit on Monday. Tuesday morning saw Miami-Dade County Mayor Daniela Levine Cava, County Commissioner Eileen Higgins, and other local leaders raised the Pride flag at the Stephen P. Clark Government Center, marking the 4th consecutive year of the Miami-Dade County government's participation. Even in a state with the long anti-LGBTQ+ shadow of Ron DeSantis, Pride is a protest that marches on. I was just at the Stephen P. Clark Center because I had to do jury selection duty this week, which was, they didn't pick any of us. But the wonderful thing, I have to say, Daniela Levine Cava, I love this woman because before she was a mayor, she was, I believe, the one of the commissioners.
I want to say, yeah.
And she used to come to my scholarship events, giving them out to kids in the community. And she showed up as one of the most humble people that had just such a heart for supporting. And when we were at Pride, you were right there with me, Bonnie, when Daniela Levine Cava came out dressed in her little rainbow outfit on a Pride float, supporting everybody. So in the midst of all of this Ron DeSantis garbage, there are still people, the Human Health Services Department, we're all kind of banding together against him. So I think that there are a lot of great things, as much as, you know, there are terrible things. There is hope, and I feel like the tide is turning. So thank you to all of our political leaders that are supporting us and fighting.
It means so much to us. It really does. It just has us, it makes us feel seen. I was at the Stephen P. Clark building yesterday morning for the flag raising with Senator Chevron Jones and also Daniela Levine Cava and Eileen Higgins. And, you know, a point that really stuck out to me is that, you know, there's some homeless people downtown, right? It's downtown Miami. Hello, we're like one of the most expensive cities in the freaking world. Anyway, you know, when we were raising the flag, this homeless gentleman came over and just put his hand on his heart and just watched the flag go up, you know, right next to the American flag. And it touched me because, you know, I'm triggered by the American flag these days, even though that's my flag too. I was freaking born here, all right? Okay, don't ask me for my papers. I was freaking born in damn New Jersey, all right? You know, so that's my flag too, but unfortunately, they've made me feel like that flag is no longer mine, right? Like Trump and his freaking goons and driving up and down Wilton Drive in a big white truck with an American flag in the back has triggered me. So my flag is the progressive flag. And you're not going to let me raise that? Like, 1 month. It's 1 month. That's it. You know, so I love that all these people are like, screw you. I'm not. Yeah, Governor, screw you. I am going to raise my flag no matter what.
Well, and then with Stonewall, the anniversary of Stonewall coming up, and it's important to remember that Pride is about protest. And so it's these little protests that the city halls are doing, but also when we get to our own celebrations of Pride around the country, around the world, you know, remember that it starts with a protest, and we might have to have that one day.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, I look at it as today, and we've kind of talked about it a little bit, our youth, you know, our Gen Z population is the largest LGBTQ plus generation in history. And they're going to be our vanguard leaders in the future. And I think when they see our government officials who are standing up against, you know, Trump and DeSantis and saying, no, it's okay to do this, they're not going to sit by and let that happen when it's their turn to be in office. So it's important to always vote. I'm going to keep saying it. Vote. Register and vote.
Vaughn, what's next?
Okay, next, let's queer up social justice. President Joe Biden wants LGBTQ plus to wave flags of pride high, and we will. In a proclamation this week recognizing Pride Month, President Joe Biden celebrated the stories made in LGBTQ rights while acknowledging the hurdles that still persist, emphasizing the significance June Pride Month to honor LGBTQ plus life, experiences, struggles, and history. Biden lauded the courage of individuals who have lived authentically, even in the face of adversity, referencing the pivotal Stonewall uprising in 1969. Biden highlighted the enduring legacy of the LGBTQ plus activism and resilience, mentioning that it continues to inspire hope and progress among LGBTQ plus Americans. He underscored his administration's commitment to advancing LGBTQ rights, citing significant milestones such as the signing of the Respect for Marriage Act and the reversal of the ban on transgender services, members in the military. However, Biden also addressed the ongoing challenges facing the LGBTQ plus community, including discrimination, violence, and legislative attacks. With over 500 anti-LGBTQ plus bills being tracked by the ACLU, the president condemned efforts to roll back LGBTQ rights and emphasized the need for continued advocacy and protection. Biden also mourned the tragic incidents like the attacks at Club Q in 2022 and Pulse in 2016, highlighting the ongoing struggle for safety and equality. Biden motivated Americans to come together for a better society. He said, quote, "I call upon the people of the United States to recognize the achievements of the LGBTQI plus community, to celebrate the great diversity of the American people, and to wave their flags of pride high," end quote. President Biden's message carries a huge significance in the present political environment, where laws are being passed to ban schools, universities, government buildings from flying pride flags. Well, flags again, you know. It's like, what's the fear? Everyone has a fear of these flags. And you think about it, we have our Canadian friends that come down here and stay in Florida, and their flags are hanging. People have flags hanging everywhere. We've got a lot of individual community. We're a melting pot of country. And we all love flags. We all do.
We're all flaggers.
We're at a football stadium, we got flags. We're in a parade, we got flags. Let the flags fly.
Bonnie, I just want to know what's going up your flagpole next.
Well, his name is Julio. 32-year-old Cuban man. Hi, honey. But yeah, this is major and convenient timing. I appreciate the president saying this. Just like Trump galvanized hateful people, racists, homophobes, Joe is galvanizing the opposite. The liberals, the queers, the queer lovers, the people of all parts of the rainbow and the spectrum. So I appreciate that. Whether he means it or not, that's really none of my business. What he's saying out loud to the public is a message that he wants to get across, and I appreciate that message.
Do you remember when Trump said that he was the president that did most for us? We all laughed, right? We all laughed, and he really said it with a straight face. I do appreciate also that Biden referenced Club Q and Pulse. Because those are our 9/11s. That's when our folks were gunned down just because of who they loved, and it's not something that we forget and that we take lightly. So the fact that he mentions it, at least for me, means a lot.
Right. And we mentioned in the last story, it's like we've got threats out there.
Yeah.
If you see something, say something. We've got to.
Well, the story that I'm going to reference it again. It was a few weeks ago where you had read that I think it was 1 out of every 5 LGBTQ plus spectrum people were supportive of Trump, which was kind of a staggering statistic. I have met quite a few young gay men that said, I think I might be voting for Trump, or I'm not sure if I'm going to vote for Biden. And I'm like,
Wow.
Yeah.
I understand a lot of what they feel. And as you all know at this table, TriniDaddy is no stranger to criticizing our own community because we have a lot of issues too. And I'm happy to point those out so we can make them better, so we can be agents of change. But this is pretty clear. We just read the Colorado GOP statements, the internal emails, and that's not just them. It is everybody. It is our Senate, our U.S. Senate,
the Pope,
that are saying the same things, So it's crazy. This is not a time to parse out little things that you don't like about somebody here or what, it's so crystal clear. As a gay person, I'm not going to say how anybody has to vote or, that's our right in this country. But please look up what the rhetoric is for the Republican side, for the GOP side, what Donald Trump's operatives are saying and what they're planning on doing. I think if you do that, the choice would be pretty clear.
And that's the whole point of the vote, is to move in the direction you want to move. Whether Biden thinks it's true or not, you're right. It doesn't maybe really matter. What matters is he wants to move us in the direction that we need to be going. And I think that you vote for the thrust of the party rather than
thrust.
Yeah.
Yes. And for those gay men that are thinking, oh, I don't want to vote for Biden, right? I'm thinking about voting for Trump. Stay the F home. Okay? That day, don't go vote for anybody. How about that? And I would never tell anyone to not go vote. But
I will
under those
personally come over
circumstances,
and hook up with you to make sure that you don't get out to vote.
And you don't want that threat, because that is so please do what the lady
That's a threat of
says,
violence.
or else.
As a nonprofit LGBTQ plus media organization, we would like to thank our viewers for support of our mission to tell the stories of the queer community. We also thank the generous support of Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ plus community's most popular pizza in South Florida, and we love it.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza, Jet's Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
Next, we are proud of our special partnership with Sunshine Cathedral, the world's largest queer church here in Fort Lauderdale. Supporting that partnership, we are broadcasting from our permanent set here at Sunshine Cathedral at the Happening Out Television Studios. We broadcast Sunshine Cathedral Sunday International Service at 10:30 a.m.
We finished tonight's Queer News headlines with a segment we call LGBTQ plus 1 Minute News.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up drag culture. Philadelphia sets world record with largest drag queen storytime event.
Oh, really?
Several hundred attendees at the National Constitution Center in Philadelphia set a world record for the largest drag queen storytime. Hosted by Philadelphia Gay News and supported by Visit Philadelphia, the event marked the start of Pride Month with local drag performers reading to 263 people. Organizers and the Associated Press recognized this as a new Guinness World Record for the category.
So today, in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, USA, you had 263
Drag Storytime is, of course, a literacy program. Literacy is the foundation for success through life, so that's why we had never happened before. Something felt different. My mom told us all we should go to bed early. Up with a free clam juice. Have a fun play. Give them all a big round of applause.
So I'm proud of my home state of Pennsylvania for making this happen, and I'm also glad that Bonnie wasn't there.
Okay, well, don't make fun of me because I can't fucking read.
Well, I think that we can break that record here. like quite easily. And I think that Bonnie Builder would be the perfect person to host it because she's the biggest drag queen I've ever seen.
Yes.
Wow.
We'll break the record by me reading the shortest book in the world. It will be one word that says, hi.
Hi,
Boom, we
and
did
that's it. Yeah, but you know
Easy.
what? Some of the books that they should be reading when Bonnie does it here, right? Okay. The Gay BCs. I love that book.
Right.
Okay. Tango Makes Three, about the 3 gay penguins, the 2 penguins and the kid.
Oh,
I love that book. 'Twas the Night Before
Yes.
Pride. I love that book.
Come on.
And We Are the Rainbow. Okay, just to name a few.
Move over, Liberty Bell. There's a new queen in town.
Yeah.
And I will think about it. Now, LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up gay culture. Get ready for the Bears of South Florida pool party in Wilton Manors on June 9th. Tickets are now on sale for the Bears of South Florida pool party on Sunday, June 9th at Solstice at Wilton. Priced at $35, tickets include lunch and a snack. A bar and beverage service will be available, and cash donations will be accepted. The event will also feature a 50-50 raffle. Attendees are encouraged to bring a towel, chair, and sunscreen. The clothing optional event is part of one of South Florida's most popular social LGBTQ plus groups. Further details are available on BOSFL.org. Now, big fan of bears, big fan of bears. I don't mean to call you big, but this is an event that I will fully be attending without a wig on because I want to go and make some friends with
And
my
without
husband.
any clothes either.
It is clothing optional, and I am a drag queen that is partial to not wearing many clothing items.
Well,
so
you
this
also
sounds like
have an
the event for
incredible
me.
body, so you're
That is
in line
also
with that.
very true. You should say it again for the camera. Listen to her. I have an
Bonnie has an
incredible body.
incredible body.
Oh my
So
God, stop.
I love the Bears of South Florida. Rawr, right? That's how William does it, right? When he's on the show, he goes rawr. I can't
Yeah,
like
son.
that. But I'm a big fan of bears. My brother Tony Lima is a huge bear, and he made me love the Bears. And now when I go to One Magical Weekend, guess what hotel I stay at? The Bears Hotel, right? And it is the most fun that you could ever have anywhere. So wherever there's a bear having a party, if you want to be a part of it and have a good time, there it is, all right? Clothing optional, $35, and you get a snack. Not that kind of snack, but you know what I mean. You'll have a great time for $35. And don't forget your sunscreen, okay? Because those parts get burnt.
Yes, they do. Look at me. Right.
Am I the
Charcoal.
only person that thinks when I hear bear pool party, I think of like
Don't.
but what? Like Bugs Bunny. That like, you know, when he's like, you know, dressed as a girl and he's making a soup and he's like, you know, boiling the cat. I just think of bear soup. When I
knew it was going to be something fucking stupid.
I love it. All right. LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up South Florida and Florida. Cleveland Clinic, Florida hosts Greater Fort Lauderdale LGBT Chamber of Commerce Networking Luncheon at Olive and Sea Restaurant June 11th. The LGBTQ plus Chamber of South Florida have partnered with Cleveland Clinic, Florida. They present the GFLGLCC Quarterly Networking Luncheon at Olive and Sea Restaurant on Tuesday, June 11th. Attendees will enjoy a family-style 3-course lunch. Tickets are $40 for GFLGLCC members and $45 for future members. Sponsors include Cleveland Clinic, Florida, Olive and Sea Restaurant, and Hotspots Happening Out. Don't miss this chance to network with like-minded people. LGBTQ plus business is one of our 11 pillars of our mission here at Happening Out Television Network. Further details available on GoGayFortLauderdale.com. You know, people are always coming up to me like, what can I do? How can I meet more people that are like-minded like me? It's an election year. I want to go help this organization, but I don't know how. This is how. You go to these networking events, you pay a minimal amount of money, you get a nice little meal, and you get to pass out your card, give your phone number out. You know, you find out about other people's events, that how you can help them, how they can help you. These are fantastic networking opportunities that you should definitely take advantage of.
That's how Holy Cross met Al. Was at one of those at a mixer.
Really?
So we support them. We're part of this local.
And you
know,
didn't
South
ask
Florida.
for your money back.
No. So
And you're always at these.
right.
Yeah.
So it's a great networking opportunity, especially when you're looking at LGBTQ plus businesses, where we all want to support those businesses.
That's right. I am one of
It's a
them.
great networking opportunity. See you there.
55 years of celebrating our LGBTQ plus history, from the 1969 Stonewall riots to the 2024 Stonewall Parade. These are the stories of Stonewall Pride. NBC6's role in South Florida LGBTQ plus community and Stonewall Pride. As the Wilton Manors Stonewall Pride Parade and Street Festival approaches, it is important to understand that this would not have been possible without the support from allies, community members, businesses, organizations, and brands who sponsored and donated graciously to make the important event become a reality. Among the key sponsors is NBC6, the prominent WTVJ television station in Miami. Serving as a platinum sponsor, NBC6 underscores its commitment to the LGBTQ+ community and the significance of the event. NBC6 is one of LGBTQ+ South Florida's most prolific supporters. They help inform and educate the importance of the LGBTQ+ community and tell our stories. Whether it's on the popular Six in the Mix daytime show for LGBTQ+ community guests or countless commercials that help make you aware of our major events, NBC6 stands with us. With over 50,000 expected attendees, Stonewall Pride 2024 solidifies its position as South Florida's largest Pride celebration with the help of sponsors like NBC6. Don't miss the amazing parade and festival on June 15th, and stay tuned for more stories from Stonewall Pride.
55 years of celebrating our LGBTQ+ history from the 1969 Stonewall riot to the 2024 Stonewall Parade. These are the stories of Stonewall Pride. Stonewall Pride Block Party Festival features 2 VIP events June 15th. On Saturday, June 15th, mark your calendars as the Wilton Manors Stonewall Pride Parade and Street Festival lights up Wilton Drive. South Florida's renowned gay mecca. Get ready for a block party extravaganza featuring food, music, and a vibrant vendor marketplace stretching along the drive. The festival will close with the famed Wilton Drive to vehicles and become a celebration of the rich diversity of the LGBTQ+ community. With 7 stages, including the Curaleaf Woman Stage and the Black Excellence Stage, presented by Crown and Anchor and Anthony Wynn Entertainment, there's no shortage of entertainment. VIP lounges, including the VIP Private Club, Women's Lounge presented by State Farm, and the Black Excellence Lounge, offer a luxurious retreat. More than 100 vendors will offer information, shopping, food, and much more, showing the best of the LGBTQ+ community. The festival will end at 11 p.m., and then Wilton Manors clubs and nightlife will celebrate the best of Stonewall Pride. General Festival cashless admission is priced at $10 for pre-sale tickets, $13 at the door. Join the parade and festival on June 15th and continue to follow all of the stories of Stonewall Pride at Queer News Tonight. That is today's news for the LGBTQ+ community on the world's first and only daily LGBTQ+ evening news show.
If our community is important to you, share this news with your friends and family. Are you, like most of America, part of our very large television audience watching this live LGBTQ+ news broadcast right now on Roku, Apple TV, Android TV, or Amazon Fire TV?
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ+ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ+ stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your anchor at Queer News Tonight, FayWhat! And on behalf of these LGBTQ+ reporters, the incredible anchors of Queer News Tonight, including Bonnie Builder, Dr. Tai Houser, TriniDaddy, Von Biggs, and myself. We will see you daily at 8 p.m. And to our LGBTQ+ world, we wish you good night!